Specific things. Katt was 100 on a few things. Most of what he was saying. A couple things, I just want to clarify. When we bring in a new, comedian.
The Chris Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island Chris Tucker, not Smokey.
Oh, Lord. Do records, or had his producers do a few records on my War and Peace album, Peace Disc. Yeah.
How was he to work with?
It was cool. He do it all. I've done it all, so I know how to do it all. So, it don't take long for me to adapt.
Oh my goodness, you won't believe who's in Katt Williams' crosshairs now. Ice Cube is the latest celebrity to feel the heat, and honey, Katt is not holding anything back. He's dropping some serious bombshells about everything from how Cube allegedly underpaid his actors to some shocking claims about connections to Epstein Island. And trust me, this is just the beginning. Looks like 2025 is shaping up to be another year where Katt's pulling back all the curtains. But wait until you hear what else he had to say about Cube's loyalty to the culture, suggesting he's been playing both sides for years. So let me spill all this piping hot tea about what's really going on with Ice Cube. First, we've got to talk about Friday, that iconic movie series that's basically become sacred in black culture. But according to Katt, the success of this franchise came with a pretty dark price tag for its cast. He's claiming that Ice Cube was seriously underpaying his actors, and get this, even the beloved late John Witherspoon spoke up about it before he passed away. Can you believe that for a series that made millions upon millions, the cast was apparently walking away with barely anything?
I've had Cube, I've talked to Cube, and a lot of people say Cube doesn't pay. What's your relationship with Cube, and what did that opportunity mean for you?
Well, the ungrateful bastards that would say anything about Cube's payment, you shouldn't even talk to them anymore.
But hold on to your seats, because this tea gets even hotter. Katt says this wasn't just about being on a tight budget or having limited funds. Oh no, he's saying this was all about priorities, with Cube allegedly keeping most of those juicy profits for himself. Now, isn't that rich? Coming from someone who built his entire career on speaking out against exploitation, that's looking mighty suspicious. And now fans are starting to wonder if Cube's gatekeeping ways go way deeper than just stiffing people on their paychecks.
When we bring in new, comedian, we do have them try out for different roles.
And would you believe it? This apparently wasn't just a one-time thing. These allegations paint a pretty disturbing pattern where Cube seemed more focused on filling his own pockets than taking care of the very people who helped make Friday the cultural phenomenon it became. Take the whole mystery of why Chris Tucker never came back for the Friday sequels. Sure, we've all heard those stories about the pay being too low, but according to Katt, there's something way darker going on here. He straight up called him Epstein Island Chris Tucker, suggesting that his connections to Jeffrey Epstein might have changed him forever. And here's where it gets really wild. In 2002, the comedian Epstein, former President Bill Clinton, and disgraced actor Kevin Spacey spent a week touring project sites in South Africa on Epstein's plane for the Clinton Foundation. The trip was mentioned in newly unsealed court documents obtained by Page Six. But wait, it gets even juicier. Katt claims that Ice Cube knew all about Tucker's ties to Epstein's world and deliberately chose to distance himself. This might explain why Cube decided to replace Tucker with cheaper talent in the sequels.
Most of these confident people we see is really delulu.
Well, you don't think they asked Chris Tucker to come back in the second Friday?
Now, I should mention that Tucker has completely denied ever setting foot on Epstein's Island. But these allegations just keep popping up. Between his mysterious disappearance from the franchise and these alleged Epstein connections, the Chris Tucker we all knew and loved as Smokey seems like ancient history now. And it's got fans side-eyeing not just Tucker, but questioning every single decision Ice Cube ever made.
You knew Jeffrey Epstein, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. We flew Bill Clinton and a lot of different, that was a humanitarian trip to Africa. And
Yeah.
I met him on that trip because it was his plane. I didn't know who plane we was getting on.
And just when you thought the drama couldn't get any more intense, let me tell you about the backlash Ice Cube faced in 2020. When he started working with the Trump administration on their Platinum Plan for Black America, people were absolutely stunned. For so many folks, especially in the Black community, this felt like the ultimate betrayal. Now, Cube tried to defend himself, saying he was just trying to negotiate for positive change, but honey, not everyone was buying what he was selling. Here's what makes this so shocking. This is the same Ice Cube who built his entire brand on fighting against the system and calling out injustice. So for him to suddenly start collaborating with Trump, someone who many saw as actively working against Black progress, well, that had people absolutely fuming.
They listened, heard what I had to say, and pumped up their plan and presented it to the people on September, I believe, 24th.
We call it the Platinum Plan.
And if you can believe it, Cube didn't just meet with Trump once. He doubled down on his decision. He started saying he'd work with anyone in power. Now, while some people saw this as just being business savvy, others felt like he was completely abandoning the very principles that made him a legend in the first place. But wait, it gets even more controversial. Ice Cube has been showing up on these conservative platforms like Tucker Carlson and Piers Morgan, and what he's been saying has people absolutely shocked. He's been pushing this anti-vaccine rhetoric and made this jaw-dropping statement that Black people are in the same place as they were in 1865. Let me tell you, the internet was not having it.
Has gotten any better. We still have a hard time getting capital when we need it. We still have a hard time having that access to those, currency streams that's out there. And so it affects us in the same way. In 1865, Black people own maybe 1 or 2% of America.
Now, people are seriously questioning whether Cube's values have completely changed or if maybe, just maybe, this is who he's been all along. Some loyal fans are still defending him, saying he's just speaking hard truths, but others think he's just desperately trying to stay relevant by stirring up controversy. Either way, one thing's crystal clear. Cube's recent actions are causing some major divisions in the community.
Out of the gatekeepers, are the gatekeepers worse in sports, Hollywood, or the music?
Yeah.
I think they all around. I don't think it's worse than any other I guess profession.
Now, let me tell you about something really interesting that Katt hinted at. Ice Cube's supposed role as a Hollywood gatekeeper. Here's the tea. While Cube has been out there publicly calling out gatekeeping in the industry, Katt is suggesting that Cube might actually be one of the biggest gatekeepers himself. He's being accused of carefully picking and choosing who gets to shine while keeping others locked out of opportunities. And here's something that's raising eyebrows. Cube has somehow managed to stay squeaky clean and avoid being connected to any major scandals like those infamous Diddy off parties, even though he's worked with Diddy in the past. Now, Cube keeps insisting he's not a party person, but people are starting to wonder, how did he manage to stay so clean while everyone else around him is getting caught up in serious allegations? Is it just really smart strategy, pure luck, or is there something else going on behind the scenes?
I believe he's being targeted.
You believe he's being targeted?
Yeah, I believe, somebody, has the power to pull the trigger to make, this stuff, this domino effect happen.
This back and forth between Katt Williams and Ice Cube has literally split the internet in half. The comment section is absolutely exploding with opinions. One person jumped in saying, "Katt is so real, he got these people upset. The truth has that effect on people." But then you've got others defending Cube, saying things like Cube ain't snitching, he keep it OG. So here's the million-dollar question. Is Ice Cube still that legendary figure we all grew up admiring? Or has he been playing us all along? Has he sold out his principles? Or is this whole thing just one big misunderstanding? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And let me tell you, this story is far from over. The tea just keeps getting hotter and hotter. We'll be keeping our eyes peeled for any new developments in this explosive situation between Katt Williams and Ice Cube. Stay tuned.